Hello, everybody. It's the 24th, day 3 of Comic-Con. They're expecting, between the Comic-Con attendees and the extra events and attractions outside the perimeter parts of the city, that this year more than 300,000 people. It's the craziest and most beautiful evangelism field in the whole world. And Batman, at one point, went 44 consecutive years to the event. I had back channel access and everything. It's always a good time to grab intel, the likes of which you don't find everywhere, anywhere. For those who have eyes, pay attention. A lot of the coverage will be provided to you here, as only we do. Pause the vid. And we're getting ready to do our monthly hands-on ministry. This coverage will be coming up shortly as well. Batman saw two movies at the movie theater that opened during Comic-Con's opening. One of them is featured on a recent post of the show that won 7 Tony Awards and a Grammy Award. It's called Hadestown, and it's an interpretation with music set in the jazzy world of NOLA of New Orleans, Louisiana, covering elements in Greek mythology very, very close to Christopher Nolan's reboot adaptation of the Odyssey. It's like bookends. And they both come up a little bit short. I give the nod to Christopher Nolan. Hadestown, the one thing that really bugged me, and it shows that in Hollywood and in much more perhaps in Broadway world, you have the woke at the helm of a lot of projects. And you, the viewing audience, cannot just swallow what's being said as authoritatively without errors. This is the Greek tragedy, or this is the Bible, watered down or twisted to serve woke purposes, pride, what have you. Batman has been through the trenches and has the feelers to understand what's going on. And if you don't believe me, you can believe this is the equivalent of a doctoral dissertation of a show that I put on with 2 other people, with Nick de Herrera, and who was the composer, and William Gregory, who was the lyricist. We put together a Blade Runner 2099 adaptation of Puccini's classic opera, Madame Butterfly. We're talking about 30, maybe 35 years ago this happened. And the show was called Electric Butterfly. And this is the dissertation and the whole libretto that goes along with it. And this is, just see if I have the whole thing here for your viewing pleasure. I was the producer and director of this. So when I tell you that the play fell short of expectations, I have a little background and knowledge of these things hands-on. The hands-on is key. I'm a little pudgy down here. The saying goes, you never trust a skinny chef. And I know that world a little bit, and the egos and everything that goes with it. And I know theology. I have the same degree that your priests, pastors have, seminary professors, professors of religious studies at colleges. I have that degree there, and nobody can take it away from me. So when I tell you something about that, I know a little bit. See these gray hairs? I know a little bit about what I'm talking about. Hadestown, it's people that really don't have a relationship with the Lord. They really don't know who this is. They really don't know the creativity, the authorship, the architect of intelligent design. They have no base of reference. Some person just picked up Greek mythology and said, well, let's do an adaptation of the land of Hades, set in New Orleans, Louisiana. And Hades is a place where people are having fun, and they're soulless. And so in exchange for being able to have their vices, kind of think of Pinocchio going to the land of children and they all turn into jackasses. Hadestown is like that, where it's free for all, but then suddenly they start smoking the cigars like Pinocchio did, and he starts turning into a donkey, a jackass. And a cautionary tale, mind you. And the audacity of the creators of that show to say, oh, and it's Hades who's singing the verses. Oh, Hades is a wonderful place. You get to do what you want to do. You can get your mojo and have at it and this and the other, only to realize that once a person gets there, that they are enslaved. Yes, you can do your thing within the walls. And Hades himself inaccurately says, oh yeah, I created these walls. This is my domain. I created it for your freedom. And actually it's for your slavery. The truth is a lie and the lie is a truth. Fake news, I'm talking to you. Absolutely incorrect. The punishments have to fit the crime. The fallen angelic outcasts were created using imperishable material. Their version of DNA, they are immortals. They cannot be killed. Satan cannot be killed. Because once made, it's not unmade. The Lord makes it. Now, you wanted to participate. You were the leader of an insurrection, a coup d'etat, a rebellion in heaven. You wanted to be me, says the Lord. The clay will never be more important or on a even Stephen's level with the potter. The clay is the clay. The potter is the potter. They're not the same things. But in the musical Hades, I created these walls for your purposes of you being able to indulge in your what's that character in Futurama? He's a robot who he participates in every vice imaginable. It'll come to me, Lord. Futurama, part of Day 3 in Comic-Con. Season 3 is coming out on Hulu. I can't wait. One of my all-time favorite shows. King of the Hill has been fantastic. Also, the reboot. Try to remember his name. Okay, it doesn't matter right now. It'll come to me. The Hades Town gives you an inaccurate portrayal of what really is going on between the land of Hades and why it was created, who put the wall there. Satan is in charge of nothing. It's a prison cell. It's going to be a place of eternal damnation for a purpose. You get there and you realize, hey, wait a minute, the thing that I sought after, the 15 minutes of fame and fortune, the table scraps, the perishables, because that's all that stuff is. Guilty as charged once in a while. Sins are customized and I fall. But then I pick myself back up. God says, hot and cold running people I can use, but the lukewarm, I will vomit you out of my mouth. That's a literal translation. From Jesus' own mouth, this is stated, word to the wise. So if you make a mistake, just like that. Hey, I blew it. I can hide nothing from you. I'm keeping it 100 with you always. You don't get a diaper rash over me. This is what I did. And I'll do my best next time to avoid doing that. In the taxi, I drove a taxi. There were multiple times where I could not be preachy to people, and if I didn't take the customer where they wanted to go, they would just call another cab, and then I would drop down the order of who gets the calls for business as a cab driver. So there would be the occasional call. In fact, a high up, who shall go unnamed, but a high up Catholic, it's not the cardinal, it's the level below the cardinal. It escapes me right now. Hedonism bot, B-O-T for robot, is the name of the character. He's on a chaise lounge chair with a robot head. Hedonism bot from Futurama. Thanks, Lord. Well, this is hedonism bot in real life. The Catholic, it's not the cardinal, but he's higher. He was high up, this guy, and he goes, "I want to go to the casino." And listen, even in the Vatican, they have their vices. They may not be able to have kids, so then they get squirrely. They get a little odd because it's not normal. You have raging hormones as a person. You're constantly trying to suffocate them, the priests that are there, right? And then things get ugly. Things become like Never Never Land of Michael Jackson. No bueno. It opens up yourself up to doing horrible things that you shouldn't be doing. You know better. He wanted to go to the casino. So I took him. And I've gone. I haven't gone in over 3 years, I want to say. And when I've gone, it's along with mom and dad because that's their vice and that's their passion. They've stopped, by the way. They've stopped going. But at the time, I'm saying it was something to be able to do together with mom and dad. Okay. And we go to the buffets and what have you. But, a Catholic guy. And he was dressed in his civvies, so he didn't have the man of the cloth. That day, like it's been said to me tongue-in-cheek, and somewhat sometimes seriously, people who really know me, he said, "You're not a man of the cloth today, you're a man of the loincloth." Okay, well, it is what it is. But one secret identity that nobody can take from me, nobody, is this guy, who is a recruiter of spiritual equivalent superheroes who know how to focus prayerful antenna arrays, who know how to issue, like we recently did, edicts, because we carry authority. We have the highest top secret Pentagon equivalent grade clearance. We are the inner circle. We are part of the remnant, group set apart, word for word translation of the Bible. And you're looking at one of the guys, not through power of human manufacture, but the enemy understands the presence, the sense of somebody whose mind might be either oppressed or possessed, that they recognize it. So there's always like a weird energy movement around certain people. It's just how it is. It's the restlessness inside the other person. They sense the presence of God. So anyway, the guy went to a casino. And on another occasion, another guy, take me to, I'll tell you another story. Take me to a dispensary. I want to get some drugs. In the state that I live in, it's illegal, but here it's legal. I can go. So I took him, right? On one occasion, this is during Comic-Con. This is from about 20 some years ago. No, I'm sorry. This is about 15, 16 years ago. I was still driving at the time. And maybe 12 years ago. The numbers are fuzzy, but the story is accurate. So it's 4 reporters from the Wall Street Journal. And in this era, then, even as now, they turned off their phones completely because Big Brother is tracking where they're going. Even if they're paying out of pocket themselves, they didn't want to know. They didn't want the Wall Street Journal to know where they were going. Take us to a strip club. So Batman is a king for the Lord, but Batman just takes everyone where they wanted to go, especially at the time. I don't drive the cab anymore. But I took them, and would you believe, and again, a reminder, all fall short. This is during Comic-Con, we get to the strip club and a giant sign out front says the following. Remember what I told you about customized sins? Because this caught my interest and I succumbed, I caved in. Because the sign said, "Today all our girls are in cosplay." In other words, they're dressed like Supergirl or what have you, She-Hulk or whatever the girl happens to be. And so they said, "Come on in with us. The meter's running. Come on in. We'll buy you a ticket." And I'm not substantiating why I stayed or anything, but it was good money. And I'm not saying the but to remove myself from. Remember this, gang, and this happens time and again. You cannot avoid this. You play, you pay. You play, you pay. You play, you pay. So you have to be prepared because it's going to be, the punishments fit the crime. It doesn't seem that way for the very wealthy, does it? Where they get to run roughshod over this whole world. Looks like they can get away with anything, everything. That day is coming where they are going to face tribunals, in some countries perhaps firing squads, hangings. Think of the likes of the people that unleashed the China virus. Their day is coming. If it's Fauci, whoever's a part of that whole thing, or think about they've unlocked a crazy amount of FBI investigations that they thought were burned. It's called a burn bag. There are a lot of topics. For instance, the Seth Rich assassination in a park. Hillary Clinton got away seemingly with murder yet again, literally. And then they found the burn bags that were never burned. the election fraud, the Medicare fraud, the Epstein Island stuff. And by the way, when they showed all that, the only people they were protecting were probably the Israelis, because they would have let loose any sexual wrongdoing by Trump. And I have told you on other broadcasts, Trump owned, sole proprietor, the Miss Universe pageant, the pick of the most beautiful women on planet Earth, physical beauty. He didn't need Epstein Island. In fact, he turned Epstein into the police. He reported Epstein. So put that in your little TDS bank. Where I'm going with this is that there's another movie that released during the week of Comic-Con, and I want you to take this carefully, y'all out there, because what tempts me and what hurts me, I don't want it to hurt you, and vice versa. There's some things that it doesn't hit me with the same impact that it might you. I just want to preface what I'm about to say so you don't get the wrong impression. But Batman is able to navigate these things and find intel from the most unlikeliest of places. And I bring them to my attention, therefore it's brought to my attention, and therefore I bring it to your attention. But this movie, there's you heard right, rated R sex comedy called The Invite, which is out there right now. And it has a whopper of a morality story at the end of all its comedic shenanigans. And remember, you play, you pay. Here's an image of Hadestown, just to kind of recap that 2 movies came out during Comic-Con. And this is The Invite. Ed Norton, Seth Rogen, Olivia Cooke, Penelope Cruz. An ensemble of 4. And the takeaway from that movie is, don't go see it if you are weak in the flesh, and it will encourage you to be part of sexual improper sexuality outside of the bonds of marriage. Don't go see it. Don't go see it. Don't go see it. Now, for the rest, it's a comedy of errors, and it was funny, and it's well made, and the screenplay was tremendous. Real good screenplay. And I am in some ways an enabler. I can't tell people, certainly when I'm on duty at work, I can't tell them, hey, you better not see this movie. It's very sinful. I can't do that. No se puede. But in the case of this movie, at the very end comes the famous old saying, but it's not in the movie. It's not implicitly written down and said to you or verbalized, but it's there. It's the saying, the grass is not greener on the other side of the fence. Contrary to a lot of hype about that. Anyway, pour through the materials. We're going to continue covering Comic-Con. It's a joy to reach out to people who are part nerd, part geek, and part in love with the Lord, like yours truly. Have yourself a good day. Much love. Lay everything. Remember, gang, everything means everything. They know all your dirty laundry. They're not going to get butthurt over anything. You're coming back. Show some contrition, penitence. Ask for forgiveness. Repent. I say it as much for myself as for you. I'm going to get a little teary-eyed. Waxing nostalgia. That's been a common thread for me over the last 2 weeks. I miss having a main squeeze. Some of my most fun dates were going to drive-in movie theaters. I saw all the Indiana Jones movies at a drive-in movie. I didn't see half of the film most of the time. I was too busy giving hickeys and doing what people do. But nowadays, the curiosity being, and I'll leave you with this, building up to something more than that is not the norm these days. It's horrible, this way that we live, where if you want everything all at once, it's there, and it cheapens everything. And to me, I look at the person, if they're like that right away, I think to myself, well, this person is a little disgusting, because it's not good you have to court the person. You have to, I think it's part of our DNA makeup. The men have to pursue and it has to build. To those who have ears, let them hear. Have a good day, you all. Take care. Much love. Pray for Batman. I've been having off on problems with my eye. Right now, it's okay. It's stable, but it's fluctuating. It's attacks. Batman's at the front lines of battle. Have yourself a good day, y'all.